Good day, friends. This is Dr. Michele Alignay. I am a family psychologist. I'm also part of the Miriam College Higher Education. For the past years, I've been one in the forefront in educating families, parents, teachers, and educators into healthy digital media habits. You heard it right. I'm into the line of family psychology and digital media management. Since 2013, as I co-authored a book with Dr. Quinali Chua called Growing Up Wired, Raising Pinoy Kids in the Digital Age, we've seen how strong the message that we parents need to be there for our children in order to help them navigate the online space. 2013 is just starting to boom, but now, in the middle of all our situation, we are solely digital. And so, I would speak to you about how we can help ourselves to be good digital parents and how we create healthy media management for our kids and even for our families. Join me for the rest of the session in order to talk about digital parenting. I would like first to tell you that we are called the digital migrants and our kids are actually who we call the digital natives. You heard it right. They are called the digital citizens. In 2017, I've been invited in the UNESCO Bangkok to participate in an experts meeting to put together what we call now the digital citizenship framework. We are actually raising the digital citizens. And I would like you to reflect that the ways we parents and educators know how in our relation to technology and in our relation to the digital sphere is very much different, distinct on how our children relate and interact with the digital sphere. During our time, technology, we call it another term for that is ICT, information and communication technology. It's actually optional. You've heard it right. Because, we grew up in the time that computers and are actually used for entertainment and leisure. And our parents are always talking to us about risk. You cannot use it excessively. You need to sleep better. It will affect your grades if you get into too much computer use. But before, look at it that way. It's optional. Focus on the risk. And our parents and even we are looking into the quantity of use. How long did we actually use it? And what amount of time did we spend there could actually be spent on other more productive means. Being wired that way, it also affected how we look at the digital space now. Our children, the digital citizens themselves, they're no longer the Gen Z, they're actually the digital citizens. We see that how they have evolved to use digital in a very integral manner. It's already integrated in their lives. And we cannot speak more than how we seen it now in the work from home setup, in the online online distance learning, and in the remote work that many of us are into. It's actually integral. Everything, it's almost connected digitally. So while during our time, we can say that we can live without technology, now our kids and even us, it's hard for us to think of a world without connections, to think of a world without the digital sphere. Also, we are looking at the risk, but now let's look at the opportunities. We are raising the digital kids. We are raising them to be digitally resilient. We are raising them to know how to use digital space appropriately. We are actually teaching them also how to maximize the power of technology by creating responsible social connections, by learning a new skills when they learn it online, and even the way they interact with school, with learning. That's how we are seeing it now. So it's no longer just the quantity of use, but the content and the context of how we use it. It's no longer just about entertainment, but it's now about education and entertainment and almost everything in our lives. But having said that, The UNESCO Asia Pacific in 2019 come up with the result of a study, and they call it the DCAP, the Digital Kids Asia Pacific. And I would like to quote from them. They said that the quality of content is more important than the platform spent with media. Yes, well, they may be in one sphere or they may be just watching something, but actually something in them is already changing. Something is happening. So it's not anymore how long they use it, but the context and the quality of what they are into. They may be in social media interacting, but there are times also that it can maybe thoughtless social media networking. And so what do we do as parents? We need to be there. Gone are the days when we say that I don't know, I cannot keep up with my kids. My kids know better than me. We have to shift the way we look at digital. We have to shift the way we look at ICT. And we need to shift our ways that we deal with our digital families in order for us to create healthy digital media habits. Because while it's true that the quality of content is more important than the platform spent in digital media, it's also true that the risks are there. Yes, the digital risk will not go away, but while there are risks, we need to enhance our kids' sense of being themselves. We need to boost up their EQ, their self-discipline, and even their critical thinking that can happen in the sphere of learning, at home, with us, and in school. And so we are actually raising the digital citizens to learn to do two things: maximize digital opportunities or what the online sphere can provide for them, and another one, minimize digital risk. Yes, we cannot shield them away from risk. We cannot tell them, don't do this, don't do that, stop doing this, stop doing that, especially for the young kids. We can actually help them to secure. But when they're getting older and when they're getting bigger, we need to start helping them to be independent in order for them to think critically on how they can navigate the online sphere. Despite that there are risks, they are not supposed to be ignorant on the risks that are presented to them. So I'll give you 3 tips on how we can create healthy digital media practices for the family. The first one: evaluate your children and families' digital use. Yes, we need to be there. We need to be with them. We need to check, hey, what is it that you're into? What are the activities are you into? What apps are you downloading in your mobile phone or in your desktop or laptop? We need to know the content of what they're using and check the quality if it's appropriate for their age. Is it aligned with the values that we have as parents, the values that we have in the family? Is it encouraging learning more than leisure? It is encouraging them to learn while they get entertained at the same time. It is actually a way for us to get to know what our kids are into, what are the influences, and who are the influencers that they have. Parents, we need to learn to do this. Evaluate our own digital use and our kids' digital practices. The second one, this is very crucial. Engage with your kids. So if the first one is to evaluate the use, we don't do anything yet. The second is that we need to engage with the kids. What do I mean by engage? We need to create connections. We need to chat. We need to ask them, what are you into? What are you happy about with what happened to you in your online learning? What do you think you can do for this app? What do you think that you think you can help me with editing? So we need to engage with our kids. We need to ask them what happens to them online and offline. Why? It's actually the root of a good relationship between the digital parents and the digital kids. We need to focus on how we can help our children, engaging with them, getting to know them. So it's just not a matter of administratively evaluating what they are into, but more important, we need to engage, we need to connect, we need to talk. Why? Because it will be hard for us to tell them to correct this, to do this, to follow this, and for us to explain about some risk and safety measures that they need to follow if we do not know how to engage and connect with them. I would like you to learn about this, that even with the digital kids, connection is actually what bridges our relationship with them. Engaging with them is still creating a good relationship offline and offline. It's also getting to know our kids and how they interact in the digital space. Not because we would like to rule them over, but because we would like to be intentional parents and to help them grow in the digital sphere. The first one, evaluate. Second, engage with the kids. And the third, it is important for us to learn to explain about digital risk and safety. Yes, it's the role of the digital parents to actually not just to control, but to mediate. Mediate is to teach them that there are online predators, there's such thing as cyberbullying, there could be excessive use of social media and gaming, and there could be addiction tendencies. But yes, these risks are very critical. And we can only ask them to be responsible media or digital media consumers, responsible digital citizens, if we can explain to them about risk, about safety, and we can explain to them about the intricacies of the digital age. It might be hard, but in our book, Growing Up Wired, we said that it's up to parents to do not what is easy, but what is best for the digital kids. And I challenge each and every one of you, parents like me who are raising the digital kids, we need to do not what is easy, but what is actually right for them. And I hope that you parents, we together as a community, we balance our kids' opportunities and risk. And also we balance the best of our relationships and the best of their development with while we're helping them to be responsible digital citizens. Good day to you. This is Dr. Michele Alignay. I hope that you become the best of the digital parent to your digital kids.